Hearings are in session. Good afternoon. Welcome to our fifth public budget hearing for the 2018-2019 Board of Education budget. The Board of Education and our administration, led by Dr. Joseph, have worked very hard this year to ensure that our budget reflects our priorities. We have scheduled 5 public hearings this school year to give our community opportunities to share their thoughts on our budget. This is an opportunity for you to speak with Dr. Joseph and the Board of Education regarding our current budget proposal, the current budget proposal that has been submitted for final approval. We will have one additional budget committee meeting on Monday, April 16th. We greatly appreciate all of the input and questions we've received during this process. Dr. Joseph and his team has fielded over 50 questions from the board members and the public, and I appreciate your diligence, or their diligence, in answering those questions in a timely fashion. We've had an unprecedented amount of feedback and community engagement. We're also providing you with a one-page document summarizing our 7 strategic priorities within our strategic plan. Before opening the floor for public comment, I'd like to share a few highlights of this current budget proposal. The current budget request is for $924,004,600. This is a proposed 5.1 increase over last year's budget. The budget proposes an additional $5.2 million for special education students and a $2 million increase for English language learners. In addition, significant increases are proposed for social emotional learning supports to support the training of approximately 3,000 teachers and wraparound services for a number of additional schools. 54.4% of dollars in the proposed budget will go directly to schools. $24.6 million has been recommended to increase employee compensation, including additional supports for paraprofessionals. The budget also prioritizes equity by providing more Title I dollars to our neediest schools while still supporting schools who have poverty of at least 50%. If you've not had an opportunity to view Dr. Joseph's State of the Schools address, the link is at the top of our website. We knew that this would be a difficult budget season. I'm encouraged, however, that we are prioritizing our students and our people. Once we approve our final budget, it will be essential for us to come together, refocus as we begin to advocate with the mayor and the city council regarding our budget. We look forward to collaborating with the community to ensure that our students and staff receive the resources and the supports that they need in order to continue to exceed great expectations. You should have received a number when you arrived. If not, please raise your hand and we will get a number to you. At this time, I'll call numbers 1 through 10 to line up at the podium to begin the public comment portion of this meeting. Again, your presence here does not go unnoticed. Thank you, and we appreciate your advocacy. Please state your name, and that's it. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board, and to Dr. Joseph. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be heard. My name is Crystalline Reed, and I am one of the 7 social workers impacted by the proposed budget. I am here to talk about the greater impact of the proposed budget on youth and families I currently serve in the Pearl-Cone cluster at John Early Middle School and Jones Padilla Elementary, a cluster that is ranked #1 in the nation with the highest rates of incarceration. There are many factors that contribute to incarceration. However, social workers can be an extremely important link to help decrease incarceration by providing free services for the children and families within our schools. As a licensed trained social worker, I wear many hats, but one of the most important hats I wear is building relationships and support for children and families that promote academic success. That is the main goal, right? Academic success. All roads lead or should lead towards a meaningful and rich education. As a district, it is our duty to ensure that our children have the services and people in place to help them on their academic journey. Social workers are able to provide what is needed for the children and also their families. How do social workers impact the schools we serve? Just a few examples. We provide social emotional learning implementation, small group counseling, individual counseling, attend IEP and S-team meetings, consultation with administrators, parents, school, faculty, staff, and community stakeholders, threat assessments, respond to student deaths, advocacy, et cetera, et cetera. On any given day, we consistently and constantly advocate for students and families within and outside of our schools. School social workers meet students and families where they are. We feed kids, find clothing, sit in the floor during tantrums with students, mediation between students, break up fights. We show up at the home in times of need and crisis. We protect them, help with housing and essential needs like water and electricity, and we celebrate successes with them. We need to be in every school, social workers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is David Roney. I'm a literature and composition teacher at Pearl Cone and co-department chair. This is my second year at Pearl Cone and fourth in Metro. The proposed cutback regarding our social worker personnel would detrimentally affect students and teachers across the district. I'm fortunate to have worked with and continue to work with powerful, hopeful, committed young people who carry, in addition to long-held and carefully planned-for aspirations, diverse traumas that stand as significant obstacles to learning. These traumas manifest in different ways at different times for different young people, and our incredible social worker, Sarah Amos, is one of our key resources in responding. She helps our young people to develop strategies for building productive spaces in order to ensure, in spite of the barriers created by trauma, that they have a place to learn. Removed from the support of such a resource, creating a personal learning environment becomes an even more challenging and potentially insurmountable obstacle. We've spent time and money as a district to prioritize social and emotional learning. To turn around at this point and cut the part of the budget that not only supports our students but also our teachers really hurts the rhetoric of student-centeredness and exposes as disingenuous the claim that our first priority is to care for our kids. We can't, within a school, resolve the inequities that necessitate the number of social workers we have at Pearl Cone, but our students shouldn't suffer as a result. I want my students to develop the social and emotional skills and dexterity to set trauma aside and allow cognitive space for learning. I, however, cannot adequately support this process without an invested, creative, engaged social worker with whom to collaborate. If our kids don't set aside their traumas using intentional, curated, healthy strategies, Maslow's hierarchy tells us our students will be disallowed from growing to their full potential. That we're having this conversation is deeply concerning to me. I think one of the things that I heard, and this is a little addition, I think one of the things I heard is our focus on how we're going to make sure that we keep those social workers and give them the opportunities potentially to stay in our system. But that doesn't address that our students still need them. On Pearl's campus, to have a social worker only 2 out of 5 days is terrifying.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Elisa Taylor. I'm here to speak on behalf of Reading Recovery. This is my training year as a Reading Recovery teacher. I've watched students make gains like I have not seen as a teacher of 20 years plus. We meet each child where they are and build on their strengths. Not only does their reading advance, but also their self-confidence. I will never teach reading as I once did based on the theory and practices I've learned to use and apply to help each and every child reach their full potential. This intensive program is tailored to each child's needs. In Reading Recovery, there are high expectations and the students learn to have a self-extended learning system. According to Noel Jones of the University of North Carolina, Reading Recovery is economical. First, because of the acceleration students make. Next, because it is preventative and it helps to establish an effective learning system. My husband has a degree from the University of the South at Sewanee and one from Vanderbilt. He works in the leading edge of technology. He did not touch a computer until he went to Vanderbilt. He credits his success to the ability to read. I feel every kindergarten and first grade teachers should be trained in Reading Recovery. It will directly impact the student achievement. I hope we continue to fund Reading Recovery and continue to support training classes. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Becky Castillo. I've been an MNPS school social worker for the last 6 years. I'm also a graduate of MNPS schools. My parents came to the U.S. as refugees of war, without possessions, connections, or any idea of what the future may hold for them in this country. What they sought was an opportunity to exist, to live, and to hope. What drew me to social work was not only my own family experiences, but also the experiences of my Latino community as a whole. My work consists primarily of providing services to students from immigrant backgrounds. It is by following the core values of social work, which are service, social justice, respecting the dignity and worth of people, recognizing the importance of human relationships, integrity, and competence, that we social workers seek to empower and collaborate with those students and families with whom we work with. We do not work from a deficit perspective. That is, we do not view our students as being broken things to be fixed. Our goal as social workers is to bolster resiliency and affirm the capacities and strengths of every student. We do not want families to merely exist and hope. We want them to thrive and to succeed. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Lauren Insminger, and I'm the school social worker at John Overton High School. This afternoon, I kind of wanted to highlight who social workers provide services to, and not only what services we provide. So school social workers work with the most vulnerable populations represented in metro schools. We work with students and families who are homeless, have low socioeconomic status, single-headed households, and uninsured. We work with immigrants, documented and undocumented, refugees, trauma survivors, unaccompanied youth, and parenting, and pregnant teens. So these populations go underserved due to limited access to care. Some experience barriers to care because of language, culture, transportation, and income. School social workers work towards mitigating these barriers through advocacy, community building, and many other services that you've already heard about. Schools need to be accessible institutions to provide these services, and school social workers are a necessary component to providing effective services, especially for these populations that wouldn't receive services otherwise. So the undocumented, the people who are uninsured, where will they receive counseling services and interventions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Allison Hollis. I'm a senior English teacher, senior cadet teacher, and English department co-chair at Pearl Cone High School. I'm here to speak on behalf of my students who benefit daily from the work of our school social worker, Ms. Amos. She is a vital member of our school community. Because she's at my school every day, not 2 days a week, but every day, she significantly enhances my students' ability to learn and my ability to teach. When a student is having a crisis at our school right now, she is my immediate call to help that student in that moment and after that moment. I have worked in schools that had part-time mental health professionals. At those schools, when a student is having a crisis, I have a decision to make. Do I help that student, or do I teach the 20 students in my classroom? This is not currently an issue at Pearl. For example, last month I had a student whose trauma surfaced in the form of a panic attack. I was her initial adult who she came to for help, but the bell rang and my class arrived. I contacted Ms. Amos, and she became the point person for that student, and I taught my class. She helps me every day with my kids. I could talk about the student who's pre-schizophrenic, who is having an episode. She became the person for every student, for every teacher to contact to help us manage his needs. I could go on and talk about the senior who is struggling with the stress of leaving our school, who talked to her today. I could talk about the student who struggles with social interactions, or the number of students who are continually dealing with trauma, who come by and see her maybe for a snack, a hug, or to talk. These students are the reason that I am here. These students are the reason why I ask you to find a way to find our school social workers. Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Joseph and board members. My name is Haley Griffin, and I am the school social worker on staff full-time at Wright Middle School. I'm one of those positions that they have full-time. I'm within the Glencliff cluster in District 7, and I'm a Nashville resident in District 5. I knew when I was in the 8th grade that I wanted to be a social worker. I did a research project on homelessness and finished feeling passionately the desire to help people and change lives. I wondered what career I could have that would allow me to do that, and soon discovered the field of social work. I told myself that was what I wanted to do, and I never looked back. Yesterday, the Wright Student Services Department hosted a college and career day. I worked diligently with my coworkers to invite guests that our students could learn from. I was thrilled when the UT College of Social Work agreed to come. When the 7th graders rotated in, I sought out a student that I work with for Tier 3 individual counseling so I could introduce her to the UT CSW rep. My student was excited to meet her because she, a student who struggles with so much at home and school, wants to be a social worker. The UT rep asked her why, and my student replied, "I want to grow up to help people. I want to help kids like me." And then, as she looked at me with tears in her eyes, she added, "I want kids to know that they're never alone." That's what we do as social workers. We help kids know that they're never alone, and they never have to walk through this life alone. You see, just a month ago, I spent my Friday evening until 6 p.m. doing the MNPS suicide protocol with this same student, reminding her that her life is valuable and that she's never alone. And I have to believe that she believed me when the next Monday she walked up to me and said, "Miss Griffin, you should read my thankfulness journal," where on Friday, as part of her safety plan, I had told her to start writing down things she is thankful for when she was feeling sad. I opened her journal and I saw, "I'm thankful for Miss Griffin because she loves me and helps me when I'm struggling." I don't say this all to brag on myself in any way. I say this because I believe that social workers make a difference. I believe that our work in this district is valuable, and I believe that I can look at my student and tell her that one day she'll have the opportunity to help students at schools never feel alone in Nashville. I want her to know that when she grows up and wants to help people like I did when I was in the 8th grade, that she can, and her school district believes in and supports the hopes and dreams she has for her future. And as we advocate for our positions, I firmly believe that in a way we are advocating for the students and families that we work with every day. Thank you.
Good evening. First of all, thank you so much for your active listening and for acting upon what you hear from the voices of our community today. It really means a lot. My name is Laura Fitz, and I'm an English teacher and the Restorative Practices Coordinator at Glencliff High School, and I've seen firsthand the impact of social work on both of those things. Our district has strongly championed that social-emotional learning and academics go hand in hand. We know from brain science and from ACE's research that kids cannot learn if their mental, social, and emotional needs are not met. Social workers are an integral part in making it possible for our students to learn. As an English 2 teacher, a student cannot learn in my class if he or she is experiencing the toxic stress of homelessness, abuse, and depression without the support that social workers provide. I've seen firsthand a student go from non-responsive in my class to flourishing after receiving regular services from our social workers. And we know from ACEs and public health research the short-term and lifelong impacts of what will happen if the toxic stress that many of our students experience goes unmitigated. It is a daunting and terrifying proposition, and we have the power to keep it from happening. Our 3 social workers at Glencliff, Emily Edwards, Becky Castillo, and Mary Hawk, are an integral part of Glencliff High School, and particularly our journey in restorative practices. Restorative practices and social work go hand in hand. Our restorative practices assistant, Casey Ayers, and I work daily with social workers to get at the root causes of challenging behaviors and to be able to provide the support students need in order to achieve high academic expectations. Social workers are integral in helping us move the needle from being 80% preventative and 20% reactionary. It is difficult for me to overemphasize the magnitude of the harm that has been prevented because we've been able to identify the root cause and get student support from social workers. If I repeated the word integral a lot, it's because I cannot emphasize how much we rely upon and need social workers. Quite honestly, I was terrified and confused when I heard about cutting social work positions, and I urgently plead with you to not only reinstate these positions, but to add more. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If we can have 11 through 20, please come to the podium.
My name's Jonathan Allen, and yet again, I'm another school social worker. We enjoy advocating for our students. Social emotional learning, as defined by the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, is a process through which children acquire and effectively apply knowledge, attitudes, and skills necessary to understand and manage emotions, set and achieve positive goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. The School Social Work Association of America defines school social workers' role as a trained mental health professional who can assist with mental health and behavioral concerns, positive behavioral support, academic and classroom support, and individual and group therapy. Metro School social workers are highly trained individuals who provide this to their schools and so much more. One of the most integral parts of social emotional learning is the integration of multi-tiered systems of support. Social workers are key in providing that individualized Tier 2 and Tier 3 support for students that may need a little extra assistance. But Metro School social workers also provide Tier 1 support for every student in the classroom. We do this by assisting in implementing and training PBIS, SEL, and restorative practices in the classroom, assisting teachers and administrators with crisis interventions, and reinforcing these systems of support that Metro has implemented for each and every school within the district. Dr. Joseph and the board, I implore you to consider the correlation between social emotional learning and school social workers. Our very definition as school social workers have some of the very same attributes as social emotional learning. If the district is serious about putting an emphasis on SEL, then they will reconsider cutting the 7 social work positions from our school. Social workers are SEL. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Olsa Whitson, and I'm a school social worker in the McGavock cluster. I am really encouraged to hear the conversation that happened earlier tonight and how we can keep these 7 proposed cut positions for the social workers. I know that this is a tough decision to make. But as you all continue these conversations, I wanted to give you some more information to hopefully help you in making that decision. We have talked a lot about the clinical work that we do in supporting students every day, but I want you to know that that is just one aspect of our jobs. In our department, we have 15 certified clinical trauma social workers. We have 13 State Building Strong Brains MNPS ACE trainers who have provided training on adverse childhood experiences and becoming a trauma-informed school to 11 schools and 593 teachers just this school year. We participate regularly in poverty simulations that have been given across the district in many years. In last year, we provided Mental Health 101, which is a training to just give an overview of what teachers are seeing in the classrooms. We provided that 101 times in lots of different schools. We also provided last year 94 different trainings, including race and ethnicity, anxiety, anger management intervention, self-harm and suicide prevention, substance abuse, parenting trainings, bullying related, self-care, refugee and immigrant awareness, child safety laws, and mandated reporting. I have heard it said before that these are only 7 positions out of 11,000 employees that MNPS has. However, as was mentioned earlier, all of these position cuts are in the same department, the social work department, cutting almost 20% of our workforce. And doing this will be very detrimental to our students and the daily support that they have been receiving. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Susan Stallsmith, and I am a proud reading recovery teacher from Henry Maxwell Elementary. My teammate, Tyrenza Bridges, and I are here to share a letter that was written by a parent of one of our reading recovery students. Unfortunately, there was a medical emergency, and she was unable to attend this evening.
Good evening. My name is Rosa Padron. My daughter, Erin, is a 2nd grade bilingual student who attends Henry Maxwell Elementary. I'm here today to share with you my story about my daughter's personal experience with reading recovery and the impact it had in my daughter's literacy development when she received one-on-one reading help for 20 weeks in 1st grade. In collaboration with her classroom teacher and reading recovery teacher, they helped my daughter develop into a confident reader and writer, not to mention how rapidly her reading levels increased once she started receiving one-on-one reading help from Reading Recovery. After completing the 20 weeks of Reading Recovery, she then was placed in small reading groups. Currently, she is in a 2nd grade booster group where she receives additional guided reading and writing for 25 minutes. My daughter now thinks that she is the best reader in the world and isn't afraid to open a book and read aloud. Her love for reading has helped improve all of her academic skills, and she is now a straight A student. When my daughter had reading difficulties and needed extra help with reading, I was happy to know that there was reading a reading intervention program in her school that could provide the help she needed. As a mother of a child who gained very positive outcomes from reading recovery, I would love to see more children get the help they need to reach their appropriate level of literacy. And I believe Reading Recovery and their one-on-one reading help can provide all the right tools to help these children enhance their performance in school. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm Karen McIntyre, and I'm the librarian at Westmead Elementary. I thought about bringing a stack of cards up and then throwing them over my shoulder dramatically, but I decided rather than write my statement and speak to you on statistical information, I was just going to talk from the heart. Cute. You know, I think about the prophet Micah, and I'm sure some of you are familiar with him. In fact, I think you might have gotten your idea for SEL right from Micah. Because remember, he talked about the Hebrew children and reminded them that God brought them out of slavery, but they had a responsibility. They had a responsibility to God. They were in a covenant. And the responsibility was to, do you know what it is? Can you say it with me? To do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with God. I believe those words. I love the idea of SEL. And Dr. Joseph, I went to a talkback session last fall when you came, and I was so encouraged because you were there to listen to us. And I know you heard the frustration in the teachers as they stood up one after another and told you of their struggle. And then you stood up and you said, I know that this is tough, but it's a pivotal year. Next year will be better. And I hung on to that. Next year will be better. But I want to know, for whom is it going to be better? I'm at a school, and when you say Westmead, you probably think rich neighborhood. But we're a Title I school. 50% of our children are in poverty. And I mean serious poverty. Yeah. So our school is losing, I think, around $400,000. Equity for whom? Is it equity to give to the children in another school to take from the poor children in my school? I want you to think about that before you make your final decision.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
My name is Aaron Armstrong. I am another school social worker. I'm not going to be here for the full 2 minutes, but I will. I do want to thank you all. I understand that this is, well, I think I understand that this is a really rigorous process, and that there's a bigger picture to things, and thank you for considering us and understanding where we're coming from. I was going to read a bunch of stuff that I wrote, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to ride out with the mayor. That's what I'm going to do.
There you go.
But I do want to share a story. Just earlier this week, I had a student of mine pop in my office, and he was so excited. He's a student that's been truant. He's a student that he's been chronically truant. I've been working with him since the 7th grade on a variety of different things. He popped in my office and he said, Mr. Armstrong, I've been making my dreams come true. I've been making my dreams come to life. And I stood up and I said, tell me, let's go. What you been doing? He's been studying 30 minutes a night, and that's boosted his confidence. He's been coming to school. He's been participating in class. He's not skipping anymore. He's making better decisions. He's more self-aware. He's managing himself a lot better than he used to. He's so much of a better person. I'm not tooting my horn. I'm recognizing, I'm helping. I just want to bring light to what we do in a real story. Every last one of the people here and the ones who weren't able to attend, they have stories like that as well. I understand that this is a tough decision. And let me also say this too. I believe in our leadership. Believe in our leadership. Thank you.
Thought you weren't going to take all the time.
Good evening. My name is Zach Fox. I am not a school social worker. I'll do good work. I'm a history teacher at Martin Luther King Jr. Magnet High School. Prior to MLK, I taught history and another number of other subjects at Antioch High School, where I was also the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program Coordinator. 3 quick points to share. First, I want to thank all of you for including the cost of living and step increases in the budget this year. If teaching is to be more than a calling and truly a profession, then the compensation should reflect professional work. And so I want to thank you all for that. I think that's really important. The second thing I want to speak on is to urge the district administration and the board to take a hard look at how the budget impacts and incentivizes school-level leadership. Great teachers exist in every school. I think that's certainly true, even in low-performing schools and schools that are struggling. Great schools, however, are the product of excellent school-level leaders, where principals are organized, competent, dedicated to developing their faculty, and most importantly, committed to empowering their students. I think that success is infectious in those schools. So I want to urge the district leadership to review how it incentivizes these principals to stay in the schools and to help the students and the teachers in those schools, including in the annual budget process. And where principals are ineffective, I want to urge you all to have the courage to have difficult conversations and make hard decisions about replacing ineffective school-level leaders. Student learning outcomes and the budget implications of school-level leadership are really just too significant to overlook this. And lastly, I want to speak from the perspective of a history teacher, and I want to urge you all to consider how the district prioritizes history and social studies in its curriculum. If we are comfortable with our levels of citizens' engagement in their communities, if we are satisfied with the nation's political environment and the conduct of our elected officials at local and state and national levels, then by all means, let's continue to hammer STEM and CTE. But if we are not satisfied with that, then I think a reconsideration of social studies' place in the budget is really important. Thank you for your time.
Well, that's my husband, y'all, so I gotta follow that. But my name is Jill, formerly Wattrell Fox, and I am rounding out my 3rd and final year as the Glencliff High School Family Resource Center Coordinator. I thank you all for being here to listen to the voices of your community. I'm also a resident, we're residents now, of the Glencliff neighborhood. I stand before you today to express my dissent with the budget as it stands. Until the proposal to cut the 7 of the social work positions is reversed, then my sentiments, unfortunately, will remain intact. I must love them a lot because I'm a terribly nervous speaker and I never do this. Over the past 3 years, I've grown accustomed to leaning on and working closely with all 3 of our school social workers who all split time between Glencliff and a second school. I have a feeling I speak for the other 10 school-based family resource centers from Family and Children's Services and Pencil, the 6 school-based site coordinators from Communities and Schools of Tennessee, and the 18 MNPS Community Achieve site managers when I say that our work would be incomplete without help and guidance from our school social workers. Aside from data collection methods and salary, the Communities and Schools, the FRCs, and the Community Achieve site managers' roles are very similar to one another. We provide tangible resources for families, we organize family engagement events, we provide case management services to students and families, and we connect community partners to our schools. None of our job descriptions, however, includes clinical therapeutic work. Our macro-level roles are designed to triage cases out to our behavioral specialists, our school counselors when they have time, and most often our school social workers. After reading through the proposed budget, I noticed that an additional $558,900 is being added to Community Achieves funding, $151,000 of which is going to contracted work out to the National Communities and Schools program. As a firm believer in and advocate for the community schools model, this is excellent news. But please keep in mind that these site coordinator roles, we do not have equivalent degrees to those of the MNPS school social workers. And if we do have that social work degree, we're not doing the exact same work as those social workers. If MNPS is serious about becoming a leader in the realms of social emotional learning, family engagement, and restorative practices, then I urge you to reconsider those budget cuts. Thank you so much.
Thank you. If we could have 21 through approximately 26 or so come to the podium.
Hi, my name's Amy Phelan. I am a parent of a fourth grader at Dan Mills. She will be attending Lytton next year. For the first time in her school career, she's been at MNPS the whole time. I'm nervous. Following this whole budget process, following the whole past year of decisions at the district level, I'm worried about the future of our district. This whole budget process has just been a hot mess. Sorry, it just has been. And the figures and the things that have come out about the water filters and everything, it's just, I don't have much confidence right now, and that scares me because I'm an advocate for MNPS. And my in-laws try to, they say, we'll pay for her to go to private school next year. I'm like, no, we're going to our neighborhood school. But I'm worried about it. I'm dismayed by the inconsistencies in the figures that have been given and the explanations for the figures, the inconsistencies. I'm concerned that seems like we've been pitting community against community, poor school against poorer school, departments against other departments, involved parents like me against parents who aren't able to be involved. And I, as an involved parent, I advocate for those families too. We've made changes at Dan Mills that sadly I know wouldn't have gotten done if it had been at other schools, and that's totally not fair. I urge you to really reconsider this budget. I feel like there's a lot of, the whole procedure about figuring out fifth grade back in elementary school, how much money was wasted on those consultants and people who came in and assessed that. Let's focus on people, teachers, feeding kids, social workers, and not programs. I'm choosing Lytton not because of STEAM. In fact, it makes me not want to choose Lytton. I want a well-rounded education with good teachers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, committee members. My name is Teresa Wagner. I am a 20-year employee of MNPS, currently teaching at Apollo Middle School. I live and work in District 6. And I was actually tasked tonight, I'm the vice president of MNEA, and I was tasked tonight to speak on behalf of MNEA because President Huth can't be here tonight. He's chairing another meeting. And he asked me to speak on, you guessed it, social workers. But after listening to all of the eloquent speakers before me, there is absolutely nothing I can add to anything that they have said. Unfortunately, I have not been able to attend the actual committee meetings because I am a middle school teacher and the timing did not make that possible. But I do know that this committee has worked diligently. You all have had some heated discussions. You've had some in-depth discussions. I trust that you are working to come up with the best possible budget for our school and our district. I also know that the next step is to get our Metro Council on board. And I want to let you know that MNEA is committed and prepared to have teachers at those public meetings in order to speak and try to get this budget passed, try to get them to pass as much of the budget as possible so that we do not get hit with the same surprises we got hit with last year. So that's what I decided to speak to you about, that let us know what we can do. We realize that that is the next step, and we are committed to advocating on behalf of this budget with the Metro Council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Harold Love, State Representative, District 58, and also proud graduate of Metro Public Schools, Whites Creek High School. All right. Let me thank you for your service. As an elected official, I know that it's difficult to balance so many requests and so many different interests out there. As a member of the Education Committee for the House, I know the difficulty in balancing education requirements. As a member of the Finance, Ways, and Means Committee for the House, I know how difficult it is to balance a budget. And so I encourage you to keep on making the right choices, keep on investing in our children. But I did come with some good news. Today we did pass House Bill 2272 that was sponsored by Representative Joe Pitts out of Clarksville that I was able to co-sponsor, which will direct the BEP Analysis Committee to look at including social workers into the BEP formula. All right? That's some good news. And I have a bill up next week about community schools. So maybe we'll get some money for that also. So keep pushing. All right. Whatever help I can give you, call on me. I'll be there to help you out. And keep trusting in decisions you've made. Let's support this director. And let's support my niece, amen, Christian Bugs. All right. And young Christopher. All right. So thank you. Let me know what you need from me, and I'll help you out.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
My name is Michael Milliner. I am a resident of District 3. I am the president of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated local chapter Gamma Phi that has been serving the youth of this community for 93 years. And I'm also an executive board member of the NAACP. The proposed fiscal year 2018-2019 Metro School budget is like a mirror being held up to the collective face of this great city as we adults ask the question, how can we best serve the educational and life needs of our children? We see in that mirror a continuing emphasis on the fundamental life right of every child to be taught to read proficiently. Looking in that mirror, we see how the need for restorative discipline reflects the disproportionate number of impoverished school-aged youth being arrested, detained, and processed through the school-to-prison pipeline. The fiscal year 18-19 Metro budget also clearly reflects our steadfast commitment to English learners and social-emotional learning that promotes opportunity equity across the district. In this budget, we can reflect on the passion and commitment to STEAM and overall academic rigor on the part of our teachers, administrators, parents, and school board members. But like any mirror, this budget also reflects our imperfections. In it, we see the reduction of clinical social workers who have a unique skill set when it comes to taking a more holistic approach to creating equal opportunities for our most vulnerable children. In it, we see an increase in teacher pay that keeps us out of the street, but nonetheless does not go far enough. In this budget's reflection, we see immigrant families living in the shadows and being afraid to certify for continued free breakfast and lunch programs, lest the big bad wolf come knocking at the door. When all is said and done, we are one city trying to do the very best we can for all of our children. I bet you $1 to donuts that if we could collectively ask our students from Goodlettsville Middle School to Hillsborough High, from Glencliff High to Buena Vista Elementary, if they thought it was okay to make sure that everyone had an equal opportunity to succeed, it's my bet that you will hear a collective yes. These budget meetings and public hearings have been a time of great debate about what's in the best interest of our children. It's now time that we proceed together to the next level of review and approval. Let's get this done for the children. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Going to start. Good evening. Good evening, Chair, members of the board, and Dr. Joseph. My name is Liza Ramage, and I live at 1400 Rosa L. Parks Boulevard. I'm here on behalf of NOAA, Nashville Organized for Action and Hope. You know that NOAA has worked for over 3 years to institute social emotional learning in Nashville schools and begin to break the school-to-prison pipeline. Racial disparities in school discipline cannot continue. NOAA wants to give a special shout out to Dr. Joseph and his staff because this year funding for social emotional learning and positive discipline training are actually in the school budget. This is a big step in the right direction, and it is most important that we move ahead from here and secure that funding for the benefit of our kids. For too long, children of color have suffered more than their fair share of disciplinary procedures, suspensions, and expulsions. The time for change is now. Given time to be fully implemented, SEL and restorative practices will bear rewards for the entire community. Developing the habit of treating every person with decency and respect does not have a downside. And at its core, this is what social emotional learning does. You will be proud that you have supported SEL for MNPS, and NOAA will do everything in our power to get our members, all 60 congregations and organizations out there communicating with the council and the mayor's office to support this budget. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Will Anderson. I've lived and worked and worshiped and shopped and hung out in North Nashville for the past 6 years working with young men. I am a CEO of a nonprofit called Maple Built, in which we do job training, focusing on woodworking with young men out north. I volunteer once a week at Pearl Cone, where I host a mentoring group, and I'm an associate pastor at 8th Street Missionary Baptist Church in Germantown. When I heard a couple weeks ago and started about the proposed budget and started to look into it, I was instantly concerned because there is a mental health crisis happening in my neighborhood. We know now, thanks to the study published by the Brookings Institute, that 37208, my home zip code, has the highest rate of incarceration in the nation, and I believe that we are accountable for this knowledge. SEL is good. And I hate that I feel like we are pitting something that is good against something that is also good, which is social workers. I can say, honestly, it wasn't until this week that I met Sarah from Pearl Cone. But when I heard that the social worker from Pearl Cone was going to be reduced in capacity instantly, I had a shiver go up my spine. I said, this cannot be. The children, the young people in my neighborhood exist without any autonomy in situations that they have no control over. Violence, low income. There is so much stress that these children bear when it comes to the insecurity of their own housing, and they hear the rhetoric that our cities, when we talk about, oh, we're so excited about what's happening out north. Well, at the same time, I know children that are moving into the back of their Honda Accords with their mothers. This is happening in our city, and we are accountable for it. We need not to be pitting services against each other, but rather we are accountable, especially in our neighborhoods, where we, if you work with young people, you see the long process of hopelessness that takes hold early. And it is so painful to see it play out over the course of the next decade. And so I would ask you, please, I will have your back as we go to the city. Let's find the funding, because these kids need us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Minty Rich Ballard, and I do not live in Davidson County. I live in Williamson County. However, I have 2 grandchildren, one in Davidson County and one in Williamson County. Dr. Joseph, I represent many organizations, but tonight I'm speaking as a grandmother. I know how difficult it is. I've spent my career, 32-year career, I'm retired, in finance. I know how difficult it is to balance a budget and try to do the best for everyone. I think, and I don't want people to lose track of what your accomplishments have been in the year that you have been elected to be in that position. And what I would like people to do is continue to let you do your job and accomplish those things that will benefit all children. All educators are important. As you look across the nation, we do not pay enough, and that's across the nation. However, that's another subject and what we need to be fighting with our officials who run the country as well as the states. So therefore, I'm here to say to you, I belong to many organizations, and I will advocate on behalf of this budget for the benefit of all children in all communities. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm good. Good afternoon, board, Dr. Joseph. My name is Wayman Buggs. Hello, cousin Christian Buggs. I am currently an exceptional education co-teacher at Antioch High School. And I want to start off on a positive note. I want to invite you guys tomorrow to our International Day, where approximately 46 languages are spoken, where our native students and their parents will be fixing delicate dishes, so you guys can see what the real It City is. I just want to, my wife is listening, so I'm not going to say anything bad. You got me right. I admire you guys. I believe in, as God said, he wouldn't let any of his creatures, from the birds, not want. I'm in Antioch every day. I'm not afraid to be there because I'm on God's time. But I urge you, there are resources out here. Dr. Joseph, you have friends at the National Football League Players Association. There's a meeting coming up. There are resources to make this happen, where our social workers don't have to worry about eating. Our kids are not going to go hungry. You have the Buffalo Pack. You have resources here in the city. I disagree with saying that we don't have enough money. If you look at what's happening in our metro government, there's enough money out here. It just determines where it's going to be appropriated. So I admire you. I recommend collaboration. Anything we can do for you as far as the organizations that I'm a part of, Buffalo Pack, I can name a bunch of them. I stay busy. But understand, we have your backs, but we have to do something to make sure our kids eat, let alone our adults, and we got to take care of our constituents. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm Brad Rayson. I'm president of SEIU Local 205. We represent the support employees in the school system. And we're here to say we really appreciate the work you do. We appreciate the attention that you're paying to helping support employees by increasing their pay with the 2% across the board and step increases. We especially appreciate the effort to address the concerns of our parapro employees by proposing a 2-step increase for them on top of the other increases. That's a commitment Dr. Joseph made to those workers 2 years ago, and we are so proud he's delivering on that. We know there's going to be changes. There's changes in every budget and changes inherent in life. And we're going to work with the administration, and we've found them open to working with us. Anytime there are employees who are affected, that they will be treated fairly and equitably in any transition that has to happen. Yeah, I wanted to just take a moment to say there's other changes that have happened over the last couple of years that have been very positive for our members that go beyond just the pay and benefits. They feel much more respected. Our access is improved. Communication is better. Our members feel like their concerns are being heard and that their opinion is valued, and that we are finding the administration is much more open to sitting down with us, addressing those concerns when they arise, and finding that there are solutions that we can get accomplished. We don't always agree. No partners do. We urge you to work together to get a budget that we can all get behind and that we can get to council with, and that our members will be there at your backs, at your side, right there with you to make sure we get the best budget we can for our schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you can turn that timer thing off down. Dr. Joseph, Madam Chair, thank you. Listen, I've been committed to public education a long time with this school district, over 30 years. I don't like having to come to these kind of meetings. I think we have a school board, we have city council, we have public officials. I want them to do that, and I can watch the news. I don't like to hear you say, cut budgets. There are 50 school-aged children in my church. They're wonderful. That's my concern. I care about them. We've been doing tutoring for 20 years. There are 15 boys in our church in college. We don't say college is not for everybody at our place. When a few years ago, 2008, the church and the nation was in financial difficulty, I took a over $12,000 a year pay cut. Any public employee who's making 6 figures, who can't take a 4-figure pay cut, you don't tell me the children are important. Our children are important. If you make 6 figures and you can't take a 4-figure pay cut for a couple of years to help get things on track, you don't care about no children. You care about yourself. Now, I hear you always saying it's about the children. Joe Biden says this, and I always remember, tell me about your values, but show me your budget. If you don't put a budget with what you value, then what you value, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have a value. If these children matter, put a budget with it. Nothing is done without a budget. Not fewer social workers. I dream every night that we need more and more and more of them. the crime is going to continue to go up. People are going to feel unsafe. Mothers going to feel like their children can't go outside and play. I run into this all the time with Metro department heads. You don't want to play that political game. They're telling you downtown we don't have any money. Go get the people together. You pay for what you want and what you believe in. Stop letting them cut the budgets for education and police and those important things. Our fire department going out half-staffed. Stop letting them cut those budgets. Demand a whole lot more. And we're watching them. We have to get people elected in public office. I'm trying to cut that thing off. In public office, who can find the resources to do what's needed for my people.
Get it,
and
Mary.
then Amy, I don't like Amy having to spend 2 weeks trying to get information. My time is up.
Thank you. Your time
I didn't
been
hear
up.
no bustle.
I was going to say. So let me say thank you. Let me say thank you. I want to say thank you for you all coming out, listening to Pastor Fuzz, and really just being here on behalf of our students. The good thing about this budget, when you say why are social workers here today, we don't really know why. But let me say this much. We don't know. We can't answer why to a lot of questions. But I believe that this moment has been ordained because we've sat here and we didn't really hear, when you guys came up to the podium to talk, you weren't talking about money. You weren't talking about numbers. You weren't talking about data. So a lot of times we listen to data. We hear numbers. We hear data. We hear how much money we're spending on this. You all came to us and you presented to us the lives of our children. And that's what we needed to hear during this budget process. More than anything, we needed to know about the lives of the decisions that we're going to make that will be impacted by those decisions. So I just want to say thank you guys for coming, and this concludes this budget hearing.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.